Breaking news, a conspiratorial cabal of MAGA morons are attacking weather satellites. You heard that right, folks, and we gotta break this down because I know that even the smart Republicans have been blasted by the SpongeBob orb of confusion.
We still have the orb of confusion. Take this!
Genuinely the best analogy I can think of, but this takes things to a whole new level of dangerous dumbassery. Actually, that's what I would say if the right didn't look too Marjorie Taylor Greene for climate science, but given that's the dystopia we find ourselves in, this unfortunately seems more like the illogical conclusion. So folks, get your tinfoil hats ready for quite possibly the wildest story you've heard outside of Epstein all week. And make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to join our resistance if you care about science, the planet, or the future of this species. Alright. Where to begin? Let's start with some unbiased local news reporting about this batshit insanity before diving a little deeper and getting brutally honest.
The man suspected of vandalizing our next-gen live weather radar is in jail tonight on unrelated complaints.
Oklahoma City police took Anthony Mitchell into custody this afternoon. Officers believe he is the man caught right there on security video on Sunday night, destroying the radar's power supply. Now, that has since been restored. The investigation is still underway. Mitchell is in jail for complaints of destruction of property and violation of a protective order. But this really is bigger than just what happened to us. An anti-government group called Veterans on Patrol is claiming responsibility for the News 9 radar vandalism.
And its leader has wild conspiracies over the impact of weather radars. News 9's Elizabeth Fitz spoke with him today and joins us now live from downtown OKC. And Elizabeth, this guy had a lot to say.
That's right. Veterans on Patrol, which the Southern Poverty Law Center calls an anti-government militia, tells me they are targeting Oklahoma weather radars, which they believe control the weather. News 9 confirmed this sign was posted near an Oklahoma weather radar, warning that Doppler radars are being targeted.
Is it true that Veterans on Patrol is targeting Oklahoma weather radars?
Absolutely.
Michael Lewis Arthur Meyer, the founder of Veterans on Patrol, says he posted the sign and that the government is controlling the weather.
They can embed their technology in civilian infrastructure in every home and every household, utilizing the phones and their network towers to not only control the weather, modify the weather, but they can do targeted individuals.
But News 9 chief meteorologist David Payne says that's not what weather radars do at all.
We have one of the most powerful live radars. Well, we do. The most powerful live radar in Oklahoma.
And when it's sabotaged,
we cannot track flooding. We cannot track severe weather. We cannot track tornadoes. And it basically becomes, instantly obsolete.
Meyer argues that the U.S. military is also behind weather modification.
Because when the military plays God with the weather, they're mocking our Heavenly Father.
I wish it were that easy. I wish we could turn it on and say, oh, let's make that tornado go away. But our weather radar and all of the weather radars in the U.S. are built strictly to inform and warn the public and to keep the public safe. And that's exactly why we have our live radar.
Is Veterans on Patrol responsible for News 9's weather radar going down? The power.
Veterans on Patrol is responsible for a lot more than that.
Meyer has thousands of followers, and as we've said, the vandalism on our site is still under investigation.
Can someone tell the aliens I'm fucking done and to just beam me up, please? Holy shit, kudos to those local news reporters for being able to report this story without laughing or just straight up crying. I don't know which one to do at this point. We'll talk more about Michael Lewis Arthur Meyer in a second, but the whole thing is based off false conspiracies about the floods in Texas being a part of a cloud seeding attack. We made a video on the dumbassery of this conspiracy before that you can check out. Not of this specific instance, though. But this Meyer guy has a history. Last year, he was part of an effort in North Carolina after Hurricane Helene, posing as an aid worker to encourage locals to tear down cell towers and attack the military. You may remember, I think we actually made a video about that too, about during the Hurricane Helene cleanup, there were armed militia groups that were attacking aid workers. And again, we'll get to the far right fuckface in just a second, and I guarantee you won't be surprised about this story. But the Southern Poverty Law Center classified Veterans on Patrol as an anti-government militia, which also promotes anti-immigrant ideas, as well as anti-indigenous, anti-Semitic, anti-Catholic, and anti-Mormon falsehoods. But Meyer here is a Christian nationalist. Color me fucking surprised. Cause wouldn't you know, the man was, quote, wrongly identified as an ICE agent in a viral window smashing video. Though I'd argue, being identified as an ICE agent is what he was going for. Here's that story about this group's leader cosplaying as a Gestapo agent.
Of a Guatemalan immigrant living in Massachusetts is speaking to NBC 10 Boston. Juan Mendez was taken into federal custody in New Bedford yesterday.
Agents shattered the window of his car when he refused to get out until his lawyer arrived. His wife was there and filmed the entire thing.
Let's go to NBC 10's immigration reporter Oscar Margain joining us from the newsroom with details. Oscar?
Yeah, according to his attorney, Juan Francisco Mendez was undocumented, but in the process of changing his immigration status and has no criminal record. Now, on Monday, take a look at this video here. He and his wife left their home and got into their car. They were stopped by federal agents who demanded they get out, but they refused, saying that they'd stay parked but didn't want to get out until their lawyer arrived. Now, that's when one of the agents hammered out a back window with a tool. They pulled both Mendez and his wife out of the car. Mendez's wife is in the country on asylum and was not wanted by agents. Now, Mendez's attorney tells us that he shouldn't have been taken into custody as his status was about to change.
Now, purely hypothetical here, I'm not saying anybody should do this, but imagine the irony if after this guy being a terrorist and leading what seems to be a terrorist organization just happened to have some type of law enforcement or potentially a civilian vigilante like this guy seems to think he is, bash in his fucking window and yank him out of the car. And as if you needed more evidence for how hilarious that hypothetical would be, Meyer's group has long engaged in these sorts of antics and, quote, operations. In 2018, his group found a homeless encampment and began spreading unfounded claims of sex trafficking, and last year claimed that Hurricane Helene was created by the United States military. He also has, wouldn't you guess, a criminal record, which includes damaging and stealing water meant for migrants along the border left by humanitarian groups in Arizona, disorderly conduct, and trespassing at a cement factory he believed was part of a QAnon-style conspiracy. F this guy, f his fascist movement, and f all these fascist faces. I'm so sick of these fucking people, and I genuinely try, folks, I promise you, to approach everything I do with kindness. I'm an inherently kind person, and I swear to God, if it were not for all of y'all in the comments and your support and stuff, I think I'd be, well, let's not even go there, but I wouldn't be as sane as I am right now. But it's stuff like this that I feel like radicalizes me the wrong way. And by that, I mean, I feel myself inherently losing empathy for these people. And I don't think that's a bad thing inherently, right? I don't think a lot of these people deserve forgiveness. I think they deserve prison time. Hell, I think they should be in alligator Alcatraz. But I do genuinely worry when reporting these things about how to balance, you know, being funny, being factual, and then being honest, because I don't like the way I feel about these people. I think the way I'm starting to feel about them reflects how they feel about innocent, undocumented immigrants and people who are different ethnicities or religions or faiths. And I don't like that. I don't like that cynicism, but I don't know how else to deal with it. Like, at the very least, how can you look at these people and see what they do and say, yeah, no, that guy deserves the same vote as me, or that guy deserves habeas corpus, but an undocumented immigrant doesn't? I apologize for the philosophical musing, but I do appreciate it if you listened or cared. I guess where I'll end this is just another hypothetical to lighten things up a bit, but I wish there was a platform similar to GoFundMe called GoFuckMe, where other people could set up funds to try and help people get arrested or pay for legal claims against them. That might be $1 million idea right there. Let me know if you think so in the comments below. And again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you appreciate some more underreported stories like this and us calling these things out, because I do think that we really need to attack the problem from the inside out. And I think this is a prime example of like how Donald Trump and the MAGA movement and all the things that they spew and believe in can just go so off the rail, even in like a way that's not directly tied to the political machinations of Washington, D.C. This is like Proud Boys shit. This is like KKK shit. Anyway, I hope this guy rots in hell, and I'm gonna go pet my cats. Thanks again for watching, y'all. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I will see you guys in the next one.